Gentlemen, please will you give me your greatest cheer and applause for one of the most iconic men on the planet, Mr. David Hasselhoff. Listen, thank you so much for coming out. I mean, we'll talk in detail about the reason why you're here tonight, which is incredible. But you are singer, actor, producer, now app developer as well, which is incredible. But let me ask you, how does it feel to you inside knowing that you are an icon?
I look at myself as I'm just so proud and so happy to be continually working, you know?
But you say that, but Baywatch is one of the biggest shows ever in the history of television.
We got the worst reviews ever. I mean, first it was a stud and a talking car on Knight Rider, and then Baywatch, we just got annihilated, you know?
But it was those critics that were probably watching it week in and week
out,
right?
they knew every size of the girls on the show.
That's what the internet's for, kids. That's what the internet's for. But going back, you know, and kind of dwelling a little further onto that first question, but was there a point, say during Knight Rider, that you went, hang on a minute, wow, like I am known the world over? Because some people have fame for a very short space of time and they kind of live with it and then they have to deal with what comes after that. You've never had to deal with that because it's continued. And like you say, you're very lucky.
I could not get a job after Knight Rider. I mean, I saw casting breakdowns that said David Hasselhoff. We want a guy 6'4" who looks like David Hasselhoff. And I said, here I am. I look just like him. And they said, no, not you. Because after Knight Rider, I could not get a job. So I went to Austria. I found out I had a hit record in Austria called I Am the Night Rocker. I'm one person.
She's from Austria.
Yeah, she's from Austria. Ah, I love that song.
Oh, you're so very David Hasselhoff.
So I found out.
Can we get security for her because she's really scaring me now?
Well, there's only 4 people in Austria.
and one of them's here.
And one of them bought my record, so that's like a 25%. But I found out that I had a hit record in Austria from a little girl that came over to have lunch with me. And I said, well, there's my opening. So I shipped a couple of cars to Austria and sang on top of the Knight Rider car, figuring if they wouldn't come and see me, they'd come and see the car. So that's how the whole thing started, you know? So it's like, I just kind of take whatever opportunity is in front of me, you know, and just kind of roll with it. And sometimes, I mean, even the panto, it's like, it's fantastic. I mean, people say, "Why you're the Knight Rider? Why are you doing the panto?" Knight Rider. The biggest thing with guys come up to me and say, "You're a part of my childhood." That is so cool. And they said, and they tell me stories about where they were or how they got punished by you can't watch Knight Rider tonight, you know, or people from Soweto, because I went to Soweto and I talked to them, you know, before apartheid, you know, was banished, and I went to. Behind the Berlin Wall, and they were actually watching Knight Rider before the wall came down. They actually could satellite it in. They satellited into Iraq and Iran. I'm serious. So I mean, it's so bizarre that we're all killing each other and we're all fighting around the world, but we'll all sit down and watch MTV, watch the World Cup, and watch Knight Rider and Baywatch, and we all get along, right? And that's what the internet's about. That's the power of the internet. The power of the internet is not to somebody to go on. We know when there's a jerk on the internet. We know when it's a positive thing. And if we use it in a positive way, man, we can stick together. I mean, how many people still want to live by Knight Rider rules? One man can make a difference. You can make a difference. If you make a difference in your own life, you make a difference in everyone else's lives. You guys have made a huge difference in my life. And why do I do panto? Because I'm saying thank you. And who comes? Families. And they see Peter Pan. And they go, what's this about? It's about believing in yourself, and you can fly, and you're not going to grow up. It's awesome. And it keeps me young, you know, and it keeps me like super humble. And so when I say, do I look at myself as an icon? No, I look at myself as a humble human being who's my father's son who says, thank you, you know, thank you, seriously, you know.
Going back to Knight Rider, because Knight Rider was part of me growing up, and I own the DVDs now as well, and it's an incredible...
Did you have a Knight Rider tricycle with a little scanner on it?
Here's the thing, right? One Christmas, I had a fight with
I knew it. Everyone tells me these stories.
Yeah.
I love this. Go ahead.
Had a fight with my cousin, because he had the Knight Rider car, and I didn't get one.
Oh my
so
God.
I kind of was really annoyed. So I used to play with his Knight Rider car at Christmas Day. It was his Knight Rider car, and he punched me in the face. So actually, you got me in a fight with my own family, and I'm not invited around there this for Christmas now either. And I'm like 25 years older.
Wait,
Anyway,
I have a story on that. One guy told me that he said, "Could you please get me a Knight Rider car for my son? Please, 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 please." So I looked everywhere. I finally found a Knight Rider car for his son. I sent it to him. He called me back and he said it was the worst Christmas ever. I said, why? He said, because when the kid opened it up, instead of saying, hello, Michael, it said, hola, Michael, ¿cómo está? And the kid started to cry. I said, oh, no, you got a Spanish car.
If we find a British one, can we swap it? Because I really
Hello,
want
Michael,
one.
where are we
Hello,
going?
Michael,
All right, yeah.
Eject
Let's go for a
yourself,
pint.
Michael.
Eject yourself.
Let me ask you a question then about Knight Rider. Was there someone doing his responses when you're talking to Kit? Is there someone in the back of the car going, we'll dub this in later, Michael, jump about a bit? What?
No,
not
we
in probably
had
that voice, but you get the idea.
We have the script supervisor. If you're on a show, you ever watch a show where the guy never looks at the road? He's always looking at the passenger. It's because the cars are being towed, and then they have a script supervisor, and she would read the part of William Daniels, who played Kit, to me. And then when things got really bad, we called it SHIT buying time. We had no time between 6 and 6:30. I put all the lines on the dashboard. So I go, how you doing, Kit? Turn right, Kit. And we would just read the lines off the dashboard. But mainly it was the script supervisor. And I got to meet William Daniels, who was Mr. Sweeney in Boy Meets World, and also Dr. Craig in St. Elsewhere. He played the voice of Kit. I didn't meet him until the Christmas party. And I said, hi, I'm Michael. He says, hello, I'm Kit. I said, well, Merry Christmas. He goes, it looks like we have a hit, don't we? Yeah. Amazing actor.
So going from Knight Rider, what was that gap like between Knight Rider and Baywatch for you then?
It was out of work. My first marriage was falling apart, and I was sitting at home, and I was devastated. And a little girl came to visit me, and she said, your record's #1 in Austria. That I had an opening. As soon as I found an opening, I went with it. I called up the promoter of the magazine that sent me over, and I said, hi, I'm David Schwartz, figuring I got a nice Jewish name that represents David Hasselhoff. And I said, I represent David Hasselhoff, and is his song #1? And they said, yes, it is. And I said, can you put him on tour? Put me in touch with a rock and roll promoter, and they did. So I got my father, who shipped 2 Knight Rider cars, 2 black Trans Ams over to Austria in a place called Wiener Neustadt in Austria. And my father comes over, who was doing the merchandising, and he says, I got good news and bad news. I said, what's the good news? We're sold out. I said, Dad, that's great. What's the bad news? I have no idea where to get more. We're in Austria. I'll be back. He comes back 2 days later with a little Austrian man and a bunch of T-shirts. And that's how the career began. And now it's like 40 gold and platinum records.
And when did you realize that Baywatch was the phenomenon? So, for example, you shoot Baywatch, and then the reviews come out, and like you say, they're not overly.
No, they canceled the show.
So how does that then work? Like, when was that?
We bought
change?
the show. They canceled. What happened was the guys came to me and said Knight Rider, and they canceled the show. Baywatch. They canceled Baywatch. The first year, we killed 7 people in Malibu. I said, no one's going to want to come to Malibu because everyone's drowning or getting killed. So they made it like a crime drama. So we found out that it was huge success around the world. So ITV actually put in $100,000 an episode. We got the rest of the money from Germany. My song Looking for Freedom was #1. The Berlin Wall had come down. It was 1989. It's 25 years this year for the Berlin Wall. And I was able, with 4 other guys, to take the opportunity and bring the show back. And we lasted 11 years. And it's the most watched show of all time now.
That's the thing. And you're so humble about it, but it is the biggest show we have ever had in the history of television.
But you know, I think it has to do with the weather. You just
Yeah.
turn on the show to see a little sunshine, you know?
I think that was, one of the reasons. There are a couple that come to mind.
Yes.
But maybe because we're all going, we would love to be there. That's the show I remember growing up thinking, I just want to drown somewhere in the hope that Pammy will come save me.
You
God
know,
bless
but
me,
some of
or
those
you, but
yeah,
you know.
well, no. But I mean,
Maybe
if you
Pamela.
go to Southern California, especially, you can go to Santa Monica, you go to Malibu, but if you go down to Huntington Beach, the lifeguards really look like that. And you see a lot of guys feigning drowning just because they're hot and they want to get rescued, you know?
Can I tell you, right, this is honestly true, you can Google this. There's a survey online that says if you were drowning, who's the person, the celebrity you'd most want to rescue you, right? So you're number one, Bublé is number two. I don't know what audience is polling this. Yeah, I don't know. I either want to be rescued by the handsome icon that is the Hoff, or Bublé can sing to me while I'm dying. I don't know which one. But that's the thing, you know, there is a point that you became so iconic from Baywatch. I mean, for example, you know, in Piranha, 3DD, you are the Hoff. You know, you have to be in these shows because people
I
want
did
you in the
Piranha
movies.
3DD because I knew it was going to be probably the worst movie ever.
No, it's not the worst
It
movie
is.
ever.
It's the worst
No,
movie.
it's not.
I love that about it, though. I mean, it's just so, it's so bad, it's good.
Is it bad to know that I then purchased it in 3DD?
3DD, yeah.
Actually, can we delete that from the podcast in case future girlfriends are
Yeah.
watching?
Well, the new one has the piranhas walking, so you know it's bad.
Are you in that one?
Yeah. No. Well, I'll never say no. I'm in Ted, though, coming up in Ted.
I was going to say, you've not long finished Ted 2, right?
No, I just, I have a cameo in Ted 2, and I'm really super proud. I just came from, I think 2015, all my dreams are coming true, and it's kind of a happy, sad time for me because it's, I'm doing my own TV series called Hoff the Record on Dave TV, the Dave channel, and they named the channel after me. That's so cool. They did, didn't they? Anyway, Hoff the Record comes out. It's kind of like Tales of the Hoff. I moved to the UK. It's kind of like a blown out of proportion version of my life. We're doing a movie called Killing Hasselhoff, which is like a celebrity death pool. We finished that.
I was going to say, this sounds amazing.
Well, we got Kenny Young in it. We got Hulk Hogan. We got Jim Jeffries, Reese Darby, John Lovitz from Saturday Night Live plays my agent. And it's basically, you know, kind of like there's a big death pool of people that have kind of been in trouble at times, like I have, and in the press. And they think that, you know, they vote on who's going to die first, and they decide to cash in, and they chase me to my house to kill Hasselhoff. But you'll be hearing a lot about it. It's really, really funny.
At which point, though, and this is a really difficult question to ask, because you don't take yourself seriously in terms of what you do. In fact, you know, going back but that's amazing. A person who's been in the industry as long as you don't find they are this humble or relaxed about their personas.
You know,
Please, I hope this is coming out the right way. But you know, for example, doing Piranha 3DD and films like that, you know, you laugh at the characters that you've portrayed in the past.
But I mean, the guy from Back to the Future, you know, was in that. I mean, I can't remember his name. You know,
Mr. Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, who always talks like this. He makes every single. And then when you meet him, he goes, "Hi, how you doing? I'm Christopher Lloyd." But then he gets on there, and he goes, "Action!" He goes, "The piranhas are coming." He makes every single word work. You know, I'm just happy to be working, and the people that take this job for granted, you know, it really kind of pisses me off because we're lucky. It's so hard to get a job in show business, and it's so hard to continue working that, you know, I just kind of go with the flow. And the fact that you guys are still here is awesome to me. I mean, I started on The Young and the Restless, which is like Coronation Street, in 1976, yeah, to 82.
When you were -9.
-9.
Yeah, you're not that old.
Yeah, no, I started in 1976, and I played Snapper, a doctor on the soap opera, and I left to go to New York because I wanted to sing. And I finally ended up going to New York, and I didn't get on Broadway till I was 48 years old. And then it took me 40 years to get there, but I did Jekyll and Hyde, I did Chicago and the West End. Now I'm doing Off the Hook, Don't You Just Love Me, with Christopher Biggins, who's a lovely guy, and we're out the South End, and we're having a blast.
Let me try and put you on the spot then for one thing. If you were only able to do one, would it be kind of singing? Would it be the acting, the right to producing? Because you're kind of involved with all aspects of making the TV shows and films as well. So if you had to choose one, which is your true passion in your heart?
I think entertaining. You know, I think that I did my own talk show in Sweden this year, and we were up for a Kristallen Award, which was the best talk show. And I was just playing Dean Martin. I grew up watching Dean Martin, and I figured I just realized honest to God, about 5 nights ago, the Hoff is really Dean Martin. You know, he was always having a blast. He was always, he got in trouble for his drinking. He got in trouble for his women, but he was always laughing and always singing. And that's what it's about. It's called entertainment. Entertain me. That's why I got into the app. See how it segued right into that?
Do you know what? I don't even know why I'm here. That was the best segue ever. Well, how does this come about? So you're singing, you're working non-stop. I mean, you are one of the hardest working people I've ever met. And then you go, I wanna make an app, because that's not the norm for David Hasselhoff in our minds.
I wanted to invent a game that I could play. That I didn't have to go through so many doors and go through this level and that level. So I said, why don't we have a laugh with Baywatch? Have the Mitch Buchanan come out in the Knight Rider car and kill my favorite thing, is Zombieland. I mean, The Walking Dead and zombies is like, it doesn't get any better than that for me. I love zombies. So we put a few Baywatch babes and a few agents and managers as zombies, and we made a game. I was doing a thing called Dance Hoff for PlayStation, and we had a Dance Hoff competition like Britain's Got Talent around the world. I can't dance, so I invented some stupid little dance, and then all these kids played, and the guys who developed it, they said, would you like to do your own game? And I said, sure. And they said, well, how much money do you want? I said, I don't want any money. I just want to be a part of the game. So we developed the game that's based on Baywatch, Knight Rider, and something I take a lot of heat for is my singing. So the ultimate level, when you finally open up all the chests and get to all the weapons and get to the final, I sing people to death. I kill zombies, and they're dead. Dead.
I want that as my ringtone.
Yes, that's it. You want that as the zombie death song.
Who's on the phone? Hoff! It's ringing again. Hoff! Can we do that for the rest of the show? Can I play it? Can I play this game? Is that all right? Can I start playing? I think you guys might be able to see. Can you see it up there? Okay, cool. All right, let me just kind of
get up. We used to have this, surf's up, brain dead.
Okay. Do you want to kind of talk them through it while I play?
Yeah.
You want to talk kind of what I'm doing?
I think it's only like 69 cents or free. But we're supposed to say, surf's up, brain dead, and the zombies are coming out of the ocean. And you just press up and down on the feet to move it, and you kill the zombies.
Right. The zombies are coming.
The zombies, where are the zombies? Yeah, there they come. They're coming from South End. They just saw my panto. Help me, help me.
If they were coming from South End, they'd have more legs.
Yes.
That's a South End joke. We're going to cut that.
And the crabs down here, do they have the coins? The crabs have coins? Yeah. Okay. And then the more zombies you get to pick up the coins, and it opens the chests. And if you open the chests are synonymous with Baywatch. And you open the chest, there's money in there. Woo! And then you get on to the next level. And, we're just getting going with this thing. So we want to try and invent something that's from people from 5 to 85 can play, and you can play it on the tube and have some fun. It's quite addictive. From my girlfriend, I can't get her off this game, which is not.
Okay, we're gonna play one more time. It's genius. It is genius. That's the thing. What I really love about it, it's kind of what you said earlier. It's not a game that you need to study.
No,
for 15
I come from
hours
Space
before you
Invaders,
can press play.
and Pac-Man and Centipede. So it's just kill the zombies, but it's people who have seen the game and played the game love the game.
But I mean,
it's really easy.
When was that moment though that you decided this is what I want to do?
I always like to stay fresh with the kids, but then I found out that people who really play the games are not just the kids; it's everybody,
I was going to say games are more popular now with older people. Everybody loves them. We all love games.
I'm still known from the kids, and I was in SpongeBob SquarePants.
I was going to say.
I mean, when that came around, my agent goes, "You want to make a movie about a sponge?" And I said, "Yeah, it's only the number one, cartoon character on the planet. It's SpongeBob is bigger than Mickey Mouse."
I saw recently though I want to call it an animatronic. I'm not entirely sure what it was. They had a mold of you, and it's about 15 foot long, which they made for the movie that they kind of had to use. And and they auctioned it. And I was trying to find out how much it went for. But starting bids for like a 15-foot Hoff was something like $30,000.
We ended up not selling it because
Can I have it?
It's no, I thought maybe like when I die, I'll have a big, like on Hollywood Boulevard, visit the Hoff,
Like a 15-foot version, just laying down
They
the
actually
Walk of
built,
Fame.
well, it was a $100,000, 12-foot, 750-pound version of David Hasselhoff in the water, and they used it for the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and I asked them, what are you going to do with it? And they said, you want it? And I said, sure. So it was in my house for a few years. Scared a lot of people.
Have you ever, have you kind of had stuff from each of the shows you've done? Have you been able to keep certain things? I mean,
yeah, it's where we just had a big sale. We had a big sale. Most of the money went to the Race for Life Foundation. I do a lot of work with kids and stuff, and so we sold most of the stuff. Not most of the stuff, like a third of it, but we even sold a Knight Rider car and Baywatch games and different awards we'd gotten because it was just getting overwhelming, and the money went to a good cause. But no, it's just I've been around for a long time, and I just feel like I'm just beginning. I'd love to do something like Flint, or the American James Bond. So I'm working on that. So
you'd be an amazing Bond.
Yeah, we'll see.
Daniel Craig's not going to last forever.
You can't have an American Bond.
You could. I don't know. Really? You don't think so? Do your best British Bond voice.
Yeah. Sean Connery. No.
Yeah. Let's do this for the rest of the interview.
Yeah.
Shall we open the questions? I can't do it for the
Sure,
it sounds
guys.
like I'm going to be rude.
Please.
Who
Can you hear
has a
us out
question
there?
for the Hoff?
Yeah.
Can we go? Do we have a? There we go. This guy at the back was the first person to put his hand up, and he's been waiting a long time. Hello, sir. What's your question? Can I carry on playing the game? Do you mind?
No, you can go for it.
Thank you so
More
much.
than welcome. Hi there, David.
Good morning.
Massive fan. All I really want to know is Knight Rider going to come back in a film? I know it's with the Weinstein studio at the moment. I know they've got the rights. I know Glenn, he's unfortunately just passed away, but is Knight Rider going to come back? I really want to know that.
I just read the script recently, and it's going to be like 22 Jump Street. It's going to be a send-up of Knight Rider, and I tried like hell to keep it cool, because I kept saying we have a franchise that'll go on forever. I was the one that actually brought it back to NBC, and they said, we love the idea. We love the new Michael Knight. You're going to be like the Devon character, but the bad news is we don't want you in it. And I went, wow. And it was another awakening of Hollywood for me, and I kept saying, well, I don't have to be in it. Let me just fix it. So it's got heart, humor, and action, and they didn't want me a part of it, so it died. And the cool thing about it was everybody who watched Knight Rider all over the world came up to me and said, what's this new Knight Rider? It's not Knight Rider. They tried to fix it. And I was really disappointed because I thought it was going to be great. I thought, well, this is going to go on forever. And it would take all the kids that grew up watching the show would now bring their kids involved. And I'd be like Devon, who passed away, Edward Mulhare, who is from Cork, Ireland, dear friend. And then I was partners with Glenn. And then Glenn, I lost the rights and went to the Weinstein Company, and they said we're going to make a comedy. So I'm sure it'll be funny, but it won't be Knight Rider. But in my movie, Killing Hasselhoff, we have Kit, and
good.
Lots of fun in it.
As long as Kit's there, excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Cheers.
Cheers.
In terms of things like 21 and 22 Jump Street, I mean, they are huge films as well. Would that bring a certain nostalgia back to certain people, and would they then go, you know what, this is really funny, but we want to go back and see those originals, and we can still get them on DVD and stuff like that?
Boy, if I knew that answer, I mean, I was so devastated when we took it to NBC and they changed it. And, I love NBC. It's one of my home. It's my home, and we were #1 with America's Got Talent, and it was just a creative idea, and it just didn't work, and because the formula of Knight Rider was like I said, heart, humor, and action. A lot of humor but a lot of heart. And then what they forget about is the heart. And so in the Weinstein movie, it's really funny. I mean, it's a funny script, but it's and people will go see it because of the title, Knight Rider, but it's not Knight Rider.
I mean, I don't want to give anything away to anyone who hasn't seen the remake of 21 Jump Street, but Johnny Depp kind of, gets an appearance.
Yeah.
Spoiler. So is that something that you would be part of in any way? I mean, because it wouldn't be that movie without you.
It depends on who the director is and what the part is. I read the part that they wanted me to play, and probably no. But if it's a great director and it's funny, why not? Why not? It's entertainment. As long as it's entertaining and people walk out of the theater laughing, even though it's not Knight Rider, great. You want to go to a film and be moved. You don't want to go and watch special effects and a bunch of apes kill each other with guns. You know, I mean, oh my God, I was watching that movie and I just walked away going, what is this about?
Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry. It's just, it's just my opinion. It was not entertaining. It goes against. I mean, if I had a little kid there watching that, it's absolutely the wrong message. It's about saving lives and not we got to get over this.
Let's get another question. This lady here. Should we pass the microphone over? Thank you very much. Hi, which question?
Hi, what an honor, first of all. As a working actress myself, I was wondering how you've managed to make a lifelong career, and what advice do you have for someone in the early stages of a career or someone trying to have long success like you have?
The advice I have for you is the advice I give to me myself is wake up every day and thank God that you have the talent and don't ever lose your drive. And if someone says no to you, you use that in a positive way. I told my daughters the hardest thing in show business is how well you deal with rejection, because you're going to lose 99.9% of the parts, and you don't even know why you lost it, but you're going to get that one chance, and that one chance is worth all the no's. When you walk on that stage and you're on that stage, you go, yeah, this is what it took me 40 years to get to Broadway. And when I walked on that stage, I couldn't stop crying because I made it. I never gave up. You have to take every single job you can. You got to get on every set. If you have to sneak into a set, you sneak into a set and you might walk by and the director will go, I want her. That's how we did Baywatch. We picked girls off the beach. They walk by and we'd say, shoot that in slow motion. And then soon, next season, she'd be on the show. Can she act? Who cares? Shoot her in slow motion. And you know why we did slow motion? Because we had no money. We were like 8 minutes short. So we shot everybody in slow motion, and we were still short. So I said, shoot the freaking titles in slow motion. And we went, we got it. We got 48 minutes. Yeah. 11 years later. Why? Because you just, it's like, you don't step over dollars to pick up pennies. You just pick it up. You take what's in front of you, and you never let anybody get in your face. And it's just. I mean, I've had stuff that's happened to me. Even this last Knight Rider thing that happened to me was just mind-boggling. That they didn't want me in the movie. I'm going, that's crazy. But it just gave me more incentive to keep going. And as they say, I guess the best one is success is the best revenge. Just keep going, and look at me. Look at what's happened to me in my career. It's been up and crazy and down, but it's always been positive. My daughters and I are extremely close, and I've had a great life. Whatever they say in the press, but they say that in the press. Why? Because it sells tickets. The funniest thing is I was working with Piers Morgan and Sharon Osbourne, and they said the Daily Mail wants to do an interview about them, and so we know what Sharon and Piers said? Trash us. Say horrible things, because if you say something nice, they're not going to print it. So I went, So I said, well, Piers is hard to get along with, and Sharon's going to stuck up, And it was all over the Daily Mail. The next day they went, yeah, good, mate, that's it, It's all a big game, But get involved in everything you can, I mean, read everything. Get involved in every possible thing you can do. One thing will lead to another. My first job was in an industrial film, choking. And I didn't get the part because when you choke, you're not supposed to make a noise. But there was an agent there. And he came to me and he said, would you like an agent? I got an agent from that stupid little commercial. Yeah, so.
Can I just thank you and shake your hand for
Cheers, guys.
Slow motion. Just personally, thank you so much, buddy. Let's get another question. Let's go this side. We haven't had a question from this side. Let's. There was someone. Really? Now you've all gone shy? Wow. I don't know if you heard that, but this woman over there just went, I ain't shy. I want him.
I ain't Austrian either. I'm sorry.
Oh, hello.
No. Definitely not from Austria. If he gets good.
No. But
we'll get subtitles for him. It's fine.
Obviously a big fan of the Night Rocker album and your music in particular. I was wondering, what is your particularly favourite song? I'm very keen on the nice cheesy ones like Je T'aime. And
You're Tim. Wow, you know my stuff. Yeah.
isn't that fabulous?
Well, there's a record that I did with Frank Wildhorn, Leslie Brickus and him. Leslie Brickus wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He wrote Scrooge, which is playing about 100 times a day in my house because of my Welsh girlfriend. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. I love his music, and they wrote a song called This Is the Moment. I actually sing it in the Panto. And I did an album called The Romantic. It's called This Time Around. It was written by mostly... That song, This Time Around, is kind of like my life story. This time around, I'm going to make it. This time around, I'll make it last. So it's about the second time around getting it right. And that's what that kind of my life's about.
Do you feel that, though? Do you feel like you kind of didn't get it right the first time?
No, but it's a good song to sing. I feel like a lot of that I'm a lot smarter now, and that I wouldn't take things so personally. We take life so seriously that you can't take life. Once you realize that life isn't fair, no matter what happens, it's not fair, and you don't take it personally. Man, that's a big one, because that's what we all get in trouble with: alcohol and booze and gambling and depression. How about depression is such a huge thing. Look what happened to Robin Williams. He made the entire world happy, but he couldn't make himself happy. That's what we got to look at. Why can't we be happy, And my girlfriend is one of the happiest people ever. And I look at her, and I learn from that. It makes me stop and wait. Be happy, And that's kind of what it's at for me.
What was that? We'll move off the subject, because obviously it's a very touchy subject, and I kind of dwell on that. But what was the defining moment that turned it around for you? Was there one particular moment you went, hang on a minute, and you snapped and went?
It's kind of still coming. I still get hit with it in the face every day, But you got to laugh at it. You got to laugh at It's not how hard you fall; it's how fast you get up, And sometimes, I just fell the other night. I was on the Panto. And I was feeling great. The show's doing great. We're breaking all the records. I can't wait to get out. And I blew the whole show. I messed up my entrances, my exits. I forgot my lines. And I came back into my dressing room, and the director came in, and I just said, wow. Boy, was that a wake-up call. And the next show, which was in about an hour, I had the best show I've ever had. Because I realized, don't take this for granted. This is an audience out there. They're paying their money, and do the best you can, and it was fantastic. So never look back.
So let's talk about what's next for you then. I know you touched on it a little bit, but let's
What's
talk about
next is finishing the Panto. We run through January 13th, and it's really good. Christopher Biggins is worth every dime. The show's great. Then I come back and I finish editing Hoff the record. Same people that did An Idiot Abroad with Ricky Gervais, You and Me Productions. So we've got a really good crew behind us, and we're going to be on the Dave channel, which will be sometime in May. We'll be at Leicester Square, probably premiering the show. We're coming here with Killing Hasselhoff. I've got Ted coming out, and I've got a crazy video coming out where I was in Justin Bieber's new video, which is kind of bizarre, but we're friends, and he's a lovely guy, and no matter what you read about him, he's got a heart, and he's a super cool guy, and so he asked me to be in his video, and I asked him to be in the movie, and we did both.
Can you say what you do in the video, and can you say what he does in the movie? Are you allowed to give it away?
I can't say what he does in the movie because it's
illegal.
No, it has something to do with the kit car, but it's really fun. And it's amazing that I actually got him because he didn't have to do that. And he's a lovely guy. He really is. And then, the press, got all over him like they've gotten all over all of us. But underneath of it, he's just a cool guy. He's just growing up.
I was going to say, your career, looking at him and making mistakes is part of life, right? And he's made a couple, but he'll grow from
everybody
them.
makes mistakes. We just get it's just like played 11 million times on the internet.
That's the problem.
Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It only happened once. So, but he's a cool guy, and his video, I'm not sure when it's coming out, but it's him and Cody Simpson, but it's a cute video. So I'm just kind of doing what I want right now, and we'll finish the Panto, and then actually we go to Finland to do a Finnish talk show, which is like the Swedish talk show, and then we're opening up a beach resort in Bali called Basque. And so we shoot down to Australia to do that.
I'm available to help out with that one. If
Yeah, we need a host to come on down, bask in the sun.
I've got the premiere in May. Did you say I'll host that, and then we're going to Bali?
Yeah, definitely host the premiere for sure.
It has been nothing short of a pleasure.
Thank you,
so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please go crazy.
Thank
for
you
the
all very
legend,
much.
Mr. David Hasselhoff.
We're hanging around for a little bit to sign autographs and take pictures. So come on and get me while I'm hot, because I got to get back to Southend-on-Sea. Don't you just love me? Thank you very, very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Hasselhoff.
Check out the game. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thank you to Apple.